Hello, my absolutely beautiful Taurus friends, and welcome to your horoscope for 2022, where Taurus this year, oh man, beautiful. It is a year to take what you learned in 2020, take what you learned in 2021, and apply it to 2022. This is the time to come on out here and shine. You have had this big, beautiful energy of Saturn traveling in the energy of Aquarius in your chart. Jupiter has been working over here. Oh my gosh, just so much I feel like has happened for you as you have moved through 2021, especially in terms of your career, in terms of your title or who we know you as in public. How has your role changed? What do we call you now? You have definitely had this energy available to you to step into who Taurus needs to be next. And whether you are 18, 15, 35, 55, 60, I don't care, Taurus. Your Taurus energies of your chart have developed and they are ready for what's next, and they're not done yet. 2022 is going to develop and shine and polish what you've already been developing. So first and foremost, as we jump into this reading, I want you to keep in mind that we had a full moon lunar eclipse happening in November of 2021 in your chart, Taurus. From there, that was the space and the place where some piece of Taurus was done. It was done. It was like, I'm not that version of me anymore. I don't have this project anymore. I don't find that valuable anymore. Whatever it is, something was done. And it left space for 2022 to come on in here and develop what it's supposed to be next. And I have no doubt, Taurus, that in 2022, we see you stepping into projects maybe you never even thought that you would. We're going to spend the year with not only the nodes, but of course the eclipse energies happening in Taurus and Scorpio. So between your first house and your seventh house, your relationships are getting profoundly different. Your relationship with you is getting profoundly different. And then we're also going to have Jupiter pop into the energy of Aries. So I'm telling you, it is an airing out space for you this year, Taurus, where you're like, yeah, why am I holding this creative skill or this fear that's been holding me back? And now I'm ready to take it out, have no hesitation, reservation, because I'm changed and I'm able, mature, and willing to step into this new role. So I'm really excited to jump in here and talk to you about what is going on for you, Taurus, in 2022. All right, so as we're coming into the year, now we still have some planets in retrograde. Uranus is still retrograde in your sign, and you've been being shaken and not stirred. Me too. And so this will continue. We're going to continue to review, where can I be free of me? Where can I be free to take me out into the world? Where can I be free for being accountable for creating areas of freedom in my life, in my personality, in my internal conversation, in my body, in my me? So Uranus is going to continue that vibe. It will not be anything new because we're coming into the year. But the ruling planet Venus is in retrograde as we come into the year in the energy of Capricorn. So this is in the 9th house space. So whatever decisions, conversations, changes you've made in your life, especially around the structure of your education, your beliefs, legal things in your life, Venus has been working here in this retrograde energy. So you may find that between December of 2021 and March of 2022, you end up deciding that you need to take some different classes. You need to do a training. You need to expand your philosophy. You need to learn another language. And that language could be the language of astrology. That language could be coding. That language could be whatever it is. There's some new language and philosophy that you're reviewing and revising because it will provide a structure for you. And not only that, Venus being about relationships and money, the new structure of what you train in, learn, allow yourself to advance with can likely become something you can make money with, which will connect you to different relationships, including that relationship of you with you. So if you are thinking, forget it, F it, I'm going to just do it, I'm going to take the class, I say do it. Obviously be mindful of your pennies, but do it. If it's time to expand so that you have something more to offer that can later be turned into something that you can use monetarily, or later that you can do whatever you'd like to do with, this is a review with Venus retrograde here that will be very, very good for you. Like I said, pay attention to the dates between December 2021 and March of 2022, where we see Venus leave its entire retrograde cycle, okay? Now, as we are coming into January, we will see see our first retrograde of Mercury in the energy of Aquarius. Now, of course, this is in the 10th house, so just know you'll be reviewing things in your career. You'll be reviewing things in your title that we call you in public, the name that we call you in public. You'll be reviewing all of those things. And I also think for some of you, this could be a time where if you entered into a contract with somebody business-wise, you may think, no, this is actually not what I want, so you need to review that, okay? Now, we're also going to see, as we get into February timeframe, an aspect that I think is phenomenal. We'll go more into it in the weekly. But we're going to see Jupiter come into a sextile with Uranus, who is still in your sign. Now, as these two come into the sextile, when the planets have sex, that's good for us because it creates a pocket of opportunity that you can not only have the opportunity to be there, but you can move your feet and use it. Use that, right? So right here, this offers you an opportunity to be connected to people, a vision, an aspiration or a long-range goal for yourself that you haven't had before, but it will bring in Uranian energy. It'll bring in people. It'll bring in connections and networks for you that allow you to be a part of something that is probably really different. Now, if you happen to be like, look, Stormie, I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with my job. I like my spouse. Living my best life. I love that for you. This still brings you an opportunity of something new, something refreshing, or you're the new person that shows up to a grouping of people or a collaboration or an opportunity. So take it, because what is happening here is it's like your new cast of characters are coming in for your journey. It's really very exciting. Okay, when we get into April, we're going to hit here at the 12th, and we see Jupiter and Neptune coming together for their conjunction in the energy of Pisces. This is delicious. They're both comfortable, and this is the vibration, my friends, of absolutely anything is possible. Absolutely anything is possible. The dream, the vision, the genuine sharing of your spirit, your heart, your creativity. As these two come together, they are boundless. They know nor neither care about boundaries. So in your 11th house, they'll be working together with friends, a vision for yourself. Dream big, plan big, put it down on paper. What do you want? What do you want to experience? It's not too big. You're not asking too much, Taurus. You're allowed to take up space and have exactly what you want. So put this energy on this day, on April 12th, in place as a stamp. Now, the one thing I do want to tell you is, because these two get together and they know no bounds, I also want you to pay attention to the groups that you're connected to. What's happening on social media? How are you using technology, social things, medicine in your life? Because you can also be put in a position of some real disappointment if you've got things on a pedestal or you're not seeing it for what it is, right? So this is a wonderful energy, but I also just want you to be mindful. We'll cover it more as we get into the April energy. Okay, April 30th. We've got a solar eclipse happening at 10 degrees of Taurus, so in your sign. This is divine. We're going to plant our seeds of intention to begin something new here, and it'll take about 6 months. But right here, we're planting our seeds of intention in the dark. So I would ask you, what would you like to begin? What is being revealed to you, Taurus, about you, that you're ready to take that version of you over this next 6 months? See, you're taking your little class over here and you're getting ready to bring yourself out, or you have a philosophy of life or a foundation that feels different to stand on, and that makes your expansion and your willingness and your readiness to emotionally get on board with something that will take you out in the world. This is a fresh start for you, but it's going to take some time for that energy to play out as we do the eclipse cycle, okay? As we get to May 10th, we're going to have Mercury retrograding in the energy of Gemini, so just here in your second house space. So we'll review money. What did you review in 2021? But we're going to review some money here in this area, and also possessions. Taurus, if you got to get rid of some possessions, please get rid of some possessions, okay? That'll be really good. And some of the possessions that you maybe need to get rid of is who you're talking to. Who are you listening to? Who are you networking with? Your space is too precious and too fertile this year to just be letting some BS in here if this is not really to your benefit, okay? On the 11th of May, we're going to see Jupiter move into the energy of Aries, so back into the 12th house space for you. And it's going to stay in this space all the way until October, then it will dip back into Pisces, and then as we move to 2023, we'll work with Jupiter and Aries. But as Jupiter moves into this space of Aries and lights up your 12th house space, this is where I'm saying, what hidden gifts have you had available? And you haven't been bringing them out. You have not been using them. You have not been showing them to the world. You know, as Jupiter expands here as well, Jupiter's coming to bring us some experience. So truly, Taurus, you want to be mindful with understanding the relationship dynamics that are on your table this year. If you've got attitudes, actions, and behaviors this year that are keeping you from the depth of creating the garden of fruitful relationships in your life, Jupiter and Aries will show you. It'll bring you right to your doorstep and say, hey, this isn't working. This isn't winning. Aries wants to win, right? He wants to get into the subconscious energy and win here. But also the other thing I think of is that as you're journeying through 2022 and Jupiter moves into the energy of Aries in this 12th house, Jupiter also acts as a protector and a guardian angel. So if you've been afraid to step into something, or you've been holding yourself back from misunderstanding or something like that, Jupiter actually offers you protection and will usually bring people to your table to help you understand. They act as like the guardian angels that show up to help you move past the fear. So I really look forward to that for you as well. Jupiter's bringing spiritual friends even as it's working in the energy of Pisces, okay? All right, as we get to May 16th, we're going to have a lunar eclipse happening at 25 degrees of Scorpio. So over in your 7th house space. Conscious, chosen, one-on-one relationships. They don't have to be romantic. This can be your friends. This can be your business partners. This can also be your relationship of you with whatever you call a divine source. This can be important, and it's also open enemies. So Taurus, if you do have things going on in court, you could be finding some information coming out at this time. Now, because this is a lunar eclipse, it says that something needs to be ended, acknowledged, or adjusted, and it's all the light in the sky. At the solar eclipse, it was dark, but at the lunar eclipse, all the light is on. So you could have a revelation of something in relationships coming to your attention. Now, I'm not saying good, bad, or other, but it's a revelation of something in relationships that will need to be dealt with. Because at a gut level, Scorpio, at that deep core root, whatever is being revealed needs to be addressed or needs to be adjusted so that the intimacy, the connection, the vulnerability, the fear, the trauma, all of that can be adjusted as it needs to be. Now, I'm going to ask you just straight up right now in the video at the end here of 2021, Taurus, are you afraid to connect with the universe in a way that you are absolutely demonstrating a trust that the universe has got your back? This could very much so be about you and the universe. Are you willing to take a chance and start that practice? End that relationship. Start that relationship. Allow the relationship of you with you to take you out to be fabulous. That takes a level of trust, of understanding the universe has got your back, that sometimes we avoid or we find ourselves afraid of. So whatever gets revealed at this time around those relationships, or a person in your life brings out something, just know it's coming up for healing, acknowledgement, adjustment, or ending, okay? All right, I got all excited. Now, October 25th, we've got a solar eclipse happening in the energy of Scorpio. So again, the 7th house space for you. So the relationship zone. So we did some ending, some revelation back here, and now we need a fresh beginning. We've had the conversation. We've explored, what does it mean to be vulnerable in our relationships. I've undone some of my own trauma or my own work, my connections, right? I've really sat and fostered my own intimacy, and that allows me to bring the vulnerability to the table, because we don't grow. You don't have successful relationships without practicing in relationships. So this is going to be a big deal to see the fresh start that's been cultivated as we move through these energies. So I'm very excited to see how this works out for you. For some of you, because it is Scorpio energy, and even though it is a solar eclipse as well, it could bring a situation to your table, whether it's with a boss, a significant relationship, where you're having to say, I don't actually think that this matches my truth anymore. So it could absolutely, even at this particular solar eclipse, just through the lens of open, honest communication, bringing ending if that's not what you're willing to be on board with anymore, okay? Now, October 31st, we're going to see action energy planet Mars go retrograde in the energy of Gemini, so in your second house. So at this time in the year, I'm going to tell you, review your financial strategy. If you need to take a class, you need to learn something, you need to have a conversation, review your website, review your book. What's the strategy you're using to get a communication out there? Gemini is still Gemini energy, even though it's in the second house. So I do think whether it's a sibling, a cousin, a family member in some way, you can see that there's a financial benefit or there's a financial contracting conversation that could also be coming to the table for your review at this particular time. But Mars, as it's retrograde, it is a personal planet, so it can make us feisty. I feel like I need to go back and fight for that, or I need to go back and say that thing, and sometimes we do. You need to go back, say the thing, relay the information. You need to network, right? Whatever it is, but just remember that Mars retrograde is not going to have his big burst of energy for moving things forward. At this time, the strategy and the doing, physical feet on the ground, the desire, look back in your life, look back in your own mind, Taurus. What have you wanted forever from your money, and have you created it? Because I don't want you to forget to look back and see what's been created in your life this year either, okay? On the 8th of November, we're going to have a lunar eclipse again in your sign at 16 degrees. So by the time we bring this final lunar eclipse of 2022 to the table, I just want to ask you, what did you create from November of 2021 all the way until now? What pieces of you were done in November? You're like, I'm over it. I've moved on. I've changed. My spirit is different. I prioritize my peace. I prioritize my wealth and my foundations and doing things different. Now, we've traveled most of 2022. We get here to November. And what have you developed within yourself, within your community that has left a doorway open for you to walk and stand and move differently? Like, can you feel your feet differently, Taurus? Can you feel your hips? Do you feel your shoulders? Do you feel your heart lifted different on this planet? What has changed for you? And I also think that this lunar eclipse will help you to end, acknowledge, or adjust the things that don't belong here anymore. We bring in our cast of characters. We have these experiences all year long, and sometimes that's it. They're just here for a season, and then it's time to move on. So watch as the eclipse uses the next 6 months to let go of what doesn't actually need to be here for you anymore, okay? I absolutely love you guys. We're going to have this last Mercury retrograde in the energy of Capricorn, which will be in your 9th house. You'll review the thinking, the publishing, marketing, broadcasting at the end of the year, and then we'll Mercury retrograde in some Earth signs as we travel through 2023. So lots going on. I love you. I look forward to walking with you every month and every week as we're going through 2022. So stick close. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you all year long. Bye, my beautiful Taurus friends.